Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and these are Charter Moms chats. And we're getting ready for its enrollment season, and I can't believe it. We're already talking about the 2022-23 school year, and and I'm really excited. Today, we're going to be talking about a brand new charter school that's coming to the east side of San Antonio in August 2022. We've had Akeem Brown on Charter Moms chats before, but back then it was at the charter application stage, and he and his board members came to talk about their proposed charter school. Well, I was super excited last summer when they passed the charter approval process, which is really difficult. So they are the new kid on the block in the San Diego charter school world for 2022. So Akeem is originally from New York, but he's really put down roots in San Antonio. He's worked in constituent engagement and like community development. Has a really deep understanding of what we need to do to help families on the east side lift themselves up, whether it's like housing, transportation, education, and he's bringing that knowledge to the education world. So, Akeem, thank you so much for joining us, and I'd love to get some updates about what's happening with Essence Prep.
Yeah, would love to update you where we are. First of all, Inga, I'm so excited to join you and to be with you and the entire SA Charter Moms family. You guys have been a huge support system to our entire team. And I believe we are here today because of supporters and partners like you. So I just want to acknowledge that. We're excited. We went through that process. And the last time we talked, I probably had more gray hair than I do now. I haven't dyed it, but I'm just a 1 ounce less stressed than I was a few months ago, right? Still have tons of work to do, but we were successful in our authorization process. We were authorized on June 25th. We received about a 12-3 vote, so 12-4 and 3 against, which is really unheard of in the state of Texas, right? And so we were able to cross partisan lines and really get that nonpartisan support for Essence Prep. Now we are launching. We are getting ready to open our doors for 360 scholars. August 15th of 2022 is when we will open our doors. And we're really, really excited to welcome our first inaugural classes, right? Our inaugural classes, K1 and 2 is what we'll be offering. So we're out on the streets recruiting as many kids as possible, working with families to partner and learn if Essence Prep is a model that will support their students and families. And then ultimately, we're recruiting teachers. So you'll hear a lot in the coming weeks, especially over the winter holiday, around what we're looking for teachers for our classroom. We're looking to hire at least 41 teachers. And we're excited because we have hired our principal, our chief learning officer, Miss Jennifer Ricks, joins us, and her first day is January 10th. And so we're really excited about that. We have a leader, an instructional leader who is just phenomenal and is relentless and bold around supporting students and making sure that they achieve.
Wow, that is super exciting. That's like so much progress. But yeah, I follow Essence Prep on social media, and I encourage other folks to do that too, because that's where you find out about things like like y'all will get out in the community and have a barbecue or a coffee, and it's a chance for prospective teachers to come and get to know you guys and prospective families to come, like talk, find out what the vision is. And that's partly what I want to do here too. Is like I think the more people learn about what Essence Prep is trying to do, I think that's why you were able to get such bipartisan support from the State Board of Education, is that you're bringing together so many good elements that I think people can see the wisdom in it, and see that you're responsive to what folks on the east side are looking for.
Yeah.
So okay. Can I ask you to like throwing it back to, so in the description of the video, there's a link to the post that you created for us last year, like during the application process. But I feel like it's still a really good foundation for folks understanding like where this is coming from. So when did you get the inspiration that you needed to found a school?
Yeah, again, this vision was a vision that I personally had for quite some time, right? I like to say when other kids were playing sports and doing all those other things, I was imaginary playing school. And so I would get cousins and all my neighbors in the bedroom or in the living room somewhere in one of our houses, and I would be the teacher or the principal, right? So I've been playing school in my mind for quite some time. Now it's time to make it real. But it wasn't a vision, and it's not a vision of just one individual, myself. It now has become a vision of around 480 plus parents 65 students who participated in crafting our vision, crafting our mission, really trying to make sure that Essence Prep would meet the needs of our community. The idea and the vision is that Essence Prep will connect and work alongside families, other schools, community partners to shape education in San Antonio. And we will do this while improving outcomes for students and show that our zip code or anyone's zip code is not a predictor of education success. So this vision, this thought, it really, really came from the community, the families on the East Side. We like to say that our school is for us, by us. So it was built by and for parents and for students here on the East Side of San Antonio. So, while I may have had the vision since I was a young kid or a student myself at the elementary school level, I truly want to say that the vision now has morphed to become more than just my own idea or me just playing school. We're actually trying to make sure that Essence Prep is a family that focuses on community partnerships, that our parents and our guardians, our teachers, our administrators work to help each student reach their full potential. All of that, again, came from community members who've supported us to date.
Yeah, well, that's consistent in like your work history is right, like meeting with constituents, listening to constituents, talking to businesses and stakeholders on the east side, like asking them what they need. So and I know you've put in the work of the meetings. So but like tell me more. What is the what how do you hope Essence Prep will change things on the east side?
Yeah.
Yeah, because and I know you've looked at things like housing and transportation and education. These are all pieces that need to fit together.
Yeah. The east side of San Antonio is a community not like or not much different than most communities in urban areas, particularly predominated by African American and brown or Latino populations that just have been neglected for quite some time. And so here at Essence Prep, we are trying to create a space that's a belonging space that provides students the resources and the support and the care where they can see themselves as visionaries who solve tough problems, right? Who work hard and create the future. We hope that some of those tough problems, and we know that a lot of those tough problems will be problems that are impacted by them in their community every day, right here on the East Side, mitigating the effects of gentrification, supporting more small businesses, really trying to figure out why our infrastructure has been neglected or decayed for quite some time. These are things that our students are exploring while learning math, while learning how to read more or better or faster, and understanding how to comprehend and write. These are all things that our students are actually solving while they're in their classrooms every day, right? So we believe that our students are going to be the change agents to solve a lot of these issues, to fix the neglect, to really focus in on equity, and more importantly, be change agents for their community, specifically the East Side of San Antonio. So, while the East Side of San Antonio has had such a large, increase when it comes to, the number of individuals who would qualify or deemed, poverty stricken by the federal government. We know that, so many of our families have struggled for such a long period of time and really having access to adequate health care or access to high quality education. These are things that we want to propose to our students, our future leaders, to solve now, to solve currently. So we believe at Essence Prep, while we're making sure that our students and families see themselves, their cultures, and their backgrounds, we also believe that our brick and mortar is just a space that will allow our students to exercise agency every day so we can solve some of our community problems that we've had for such a long period of time.
Yeah, I know. As I've talked to you about this, like, I mean, you have a real understanding of what's happening on the east side in terms of, there's this pressure from gentrification that's changing the characters of neighborhoods. Meanwhile, it's on this overlay of a long period of neglect of the infrastructure and resources that the community needs. And it makes so much sense to me what you're saying about you know, keeping the students, making them aware and informed about what's happening in their neighborhood, and and asking them to help come up with solutions because we hope that as they become like strong in math and strong in reading and writing, that they'll still feel a community tie to the east side, and they'll stay and be those leaders and change agents for the next chapter for the east side.
That's right. That's right. For us, it's how do we build empathy, right? We learned from a kindergarten class across the country that was talking about sharing space with dinosaurs, right? They were using their imagination that dinosaurs had returned to the world. And anyway, long story short, the teacher was able to unpack that, every dinosaur is not the same, and every dinosaur doesn't eat people, right? Every dinosaur is not the same size. And so really getting our young people to eventually land on a sanctuary instead of just cages. But what the kindergarten teacher did with her students was, one, create empathy, create thought process, create logic and reasoning. And then ultimately create change agents, people who see things and view things critically and analyze and want to solve problems and not just present problems. And that's what we're looking for at Essence Prep. Every Friday, we have what we call family gatherings. And it's an opportunity for leaders in our community, family, parents, you name it, to come and engage with us during our family gathering. And a problem is being presented. So maybe we have the mayor of San Antonio presenting, affordable housing as an issue that we're currently facing in San Antonio. Well, the entire third grade at Essence Prep is working alongside the mayor to solve that problem, to partner with the mayor to solve that problem with their thinking, with their critical eye and their ability. And some people may say, well, Akeem, you're making sure that young people are change agents of today and not tomorrow. That's the goal. We want our young people to uncover the essence of their identity.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's can you I know one thing that I think is so intriguing about the model is that it's a you want it to be a place where students can see their strengths, right?
That's
That it's
right.
not about, talking about all the negatives or what's missing, but having them see their strengths. So, can you talk more about that, about what kind of culture you want to build?
Yeah, it goes back to the need of why, right? So some people say, why Essence Prep? I think while there are a handful of charter schools on the east side of San Antonio, some of the highest performing have children who don't reside in our community. And so there's a need of high performance schools with a proven track record of success, with students who live and will ultimately improve their own community. And so, for us, the idea is making sure that we focus on assets, right? We look at what you bring to the table. We are not talking about deficits. We don't say this student doesn't have. We say this student has, and we would love for that student to grow there, right? Grow in that particular asset, grow within that particular category or sector of their own self actualized goals, right? And so, one, we sit down with our students and we sit down with the family, the caregiver, the parent, and we try to establish a goal or goals for that child. And those goals are revisited weekly. Those goals are revisited quarterly, and then, of course, revisited yearly or annually. And we take the time to make sure that we support that student in meeting those goals. But the one thing we'll never say to the student is that, because you didn't meet those goals, these are the deficits that you now have. No, we want to find out ways to improve on those assets. And so one a perfect example is, you walk around in the education space and you hear the buzzword or the term ESL. And for us, one, we call our students who speak two languages, we call our students emerging bilingual students. The idea around that is we never want the student to transition away from their native language. We want to build on that asset. And what we've learned, the research shows, is that when you can speak two languages, when you are bilingual or trilingual, for most of our San Antonians today, you are able to comprehend, you're able to read a little faster, you're able to compute faster. There's so many things that you can do differently than those like myself who are monolingual. And so really trying to figure out ways to improve that asset. The last thing I'll say about that, Inga, is, part of our RISE values, and it spells out RISE, it's responsibility, intellectual investment, service, and excellence. The responsibility piece is important. So we hold ourselves accountable and to the highest standards in that pursuit of success. So holding ourselves accountable and being responsible is making sure that we're affirming the identities of our children, making sure that we are celebrating those assets and talking about how to grow. The last piece is that intellectual investment. If we're not creating a culture of intellectual curiosity and personal growth and achievement by celebrating those academics and learning, then guess what? We're not investing in our intellectual toolkit. And that's what we do when we talk about what the student has versus what the student doesn't.
It sounds so simple, but it's transformative because, I've seen education settings where some students got limited because for whatever reason they got labeled, and then the adults set expectations that were too low, and then that it puts a ceiling on what those kids are able to do, and that should never happen. Like no child should have untapped potential just because an adult kind of categorize them or focus on the deficits and put them in a box or put them aside.
That's right.
And you should always, like you said, always revisit those because sometimes circumstances change. Like kids have like a mental growth spurt, or they learn more resilience skills and they're able to cope with the stresses in their environment in a different way. So the adult should always be open to identifying and nurturing the potential in kids. Never label them, never focus on the deficits, and never put a kid in a box and say that's it, that's all they're going to do.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to make sure we cover some like nuts and bolts practical stuff. I know you like
Yeah.
I want to revisit you highlighted some things at the beginning. Like, so the new principal, you
Yeah.
said Jennifer Ricks, Chief
Yes.
Learning Officer. Okay,
Yes.
starting in January. So that's super exciting.
Thank you.
I hope I'm calling dibs. I want her on the show
You
in
got
yeah, in 2022.
it.
And you said you're recruiting teachers. So what do folks need to know about hopefully someone's listening is like, I think I want to teach at this school. What should they
Yeah.
do?
Yeah. So one, visit our website. Visit our website now, not later. Visit it now. Essence Prep, Essence Prep SA.org, essenceprepsa.org. You'll see all of our teacher positions available now. Please apply. We are recruiting teachers, paraprofessionals, teachers and residents. So those who are like, look, I want to dip my foot in the water, but I'm not too sure what this looks like. We have some coaches. We have a professional development plan and a pathway in partnership with Texas A&M San Antonio that we believe will give you the skills and experience that you need to teach. And we're looking to mentor future leaders, right, and future teachers in our classroom. So visit our website. Take a look at it. We value teachers. We believe that teachers are our learning facilitators. So hence why our principal is also called our chief learning officer. We want to make sure that that is what educators are doing, that all of the stress of all the other things, attendance and food services and everything else that's generally tacked on the teacher, that's all taken away from you. And you're focused in on learning. You're focused in on supporting the student. And then we're there to support you and make sure that you have all the resources that you need. We have a great benefit package that we believe is competitive to most in any charter school in our community, most of any ISD in our community. Again, we value the educator. We truly, truly do. I think we value the educator so much that you're not teaching English, math, science, and social studies. We have a model where you're focused in on your content. So if you're a social studies teacher, you're going to be teaching at least 4 periods of social studies a day. You're not going to be going back and forth from content. You're going to be a content specialist. And so, and it's always fun to be a part of a founding team. I have had the privilege of founding a school as an educator before, as a teacher, not as a superintendent. This will be my first time, first rodeo there. But I will tell you, just being a part of that ground floor vision, helping craft the thoughts, the mission, the narrative, but also being a part of what our classrooms look, feel, smell, taste like. That is what we are looking for. We're looking for relentless, bold educators who are committed to equity, and not just because it's a word, actually committed to the practice.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that is a beautiful vision. And okay, I'm gonna put the website on the screen again. So
Yes.
essenceprepsa.org. So that's where folks can
PrepSA.org. That's right.
prospective teachers and staff members, learning facilitators, they can visit that site and find the job postings and start the application process.
Right. That's right. That's right. And you'll get an opportunity to have a phone screening with me. My goal is to interview every person that comes through our school, and not just our first year, but for as long as I possibly can do it. Because again, we want to make sure that you are mission aligned. So you have a phone screening and you'll be invited to an in-person interview. You have opportunity to engage with our chief learning officer, and you'll be invited to all of our engagement events with our students and families. We want you to get comfortable with who you would be working alongside and partnering to serve. So there's tons of time for you to engage, but we encourage you to apply now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what a great opportunity to be like, there at the beginning, right? And helping to establish that culture and start new traditions. I've seen at new schools like somebody says, "Well, we're gonna do this at the carnival." Okay. And then next thing you know, 5 years later, they're still doing that, but it's bigger and better. And
That's right.
it started because somebody's like, "Well, let's do it this way." And
That's right.
so what an opportunity to like, leave your mark on things, like help create that vision, bring it to life.
That's right. And then we have an inclusive interviewing process that I want to talk about just real quickly. In the teachers that we are able to, while it's a rolling interview process, right? The teachers that we're able to offer opportunities to a little earlier in the process, you will have an opportunity to actually interview some of the other school leaders that will be hiring, our director of operations, our dean of empowerment and culture, our director of student support services, which support our special education services, our emerging bilingual students, and many others. Those leaders have yet to be hired. And what I've chosen to do as an inclusive leadership model is to have our teachers help choose those leaders. Every day we hear from teachers who are saying, look, this principal just doesn't get it. Or this director doesn't get it. We want the teachers at the table. We also will have parents engaged and involved, and students engaged and involved in hiring our teachers. So it's an inclusive leadership model, an inclusive interview model, an engagement model around recruitment of our staff, because we believe that we're all partners of each other. So our students and staff will be interviewing each other essentially, or our students will interview our staff. Let's say it that way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, whenever you say, like, "Parents have a voice," that's when I get all
Yes.
excited because
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
my thing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. But what a great that just shows it's what kind of person you are, right? Like, you have the confidence to be humble and take in input from lots of different sides.
That's right.
And what it means is that anybody who makes it through the interview process is gonna be somebody that on all sides, like the students, the parents, right, the teachers who would be reporting to that administrator, all have that comfort level of like, okay, this is the kind of person that I want to be in the trenches with,
That's
working on this important mission.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. We want that buy-in. We want that investment. Again, everyone who joins our team is a founder, not me alone. Everyone who joins our team is a founder, students included, parents included, staff and faculty included. So, the idea is you're putting your name on this, and we want to make sure that you're comfortable, that you're ready to put your name on it.
yeah, yeah. Well, do you have any other thoughts on the teacher recruiting part? Because I also want to talk about like how you're going to meet
Yeah.
families and guardians and more students.
No, I think that's really it around the student side. I'm sorry, the recruitment of teachers and faculty. I think I'm an open book. If you need to reach me before you even apply, you just want to ask questions and learn more about our model, learn more about me as a leader. I encourage you to visit the site. On the website, you have an opportunity to just schedule a meeting with me, whether in person, virtually, whatever you decide. I will make time so that I can answer any questions, tell you a little bit more about the process and who we are and who we're looking to be consistently. So I just encourage those who are just maybe on the fence and not sure, don't know what to do. This is a startup. Oh, it's a charter school. I want to ask some questions. I encourage you to reach out to me, set up some time. And I don't just take questions. I take suggestions, comments. I take it all because we're trying to figure out the best way we can serve our students and families.
Oh, I want to share. I got a comment on the Facebook page, shouting out for the RISE values. So that's
Thank you.
let's see, responsibility, intelligence, service, and excellence. Is that right?
Yes. So
Okay.
responsibility, intellectual
Uh,
investment,
intellectual
service,
investment.
yeah, service and excellence. That's right.
Got it. Okay. All right. I love it. I love it when we get feedback during the video.
I love it.
So
I
thanks,
love it.
Brandy.
Thank you.
Okay. 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 So I'm going to put the website up on the screen again because this is also where families can sign up, get more information and, do the application process for their students. So what options do they have now? Can families also schedule a consultation to talk to you about the school?
Yes, yes, of course. Anybody and everybody. I mean, anyone who lives, resides in the entire Bexar County, San Antonio service area, let me know. If you have a question, comment, concern, or just want to learn more about Essence Prep, that's what that's for. We leave that link up there so that you have access to me as the superintendent at all times. We are a public entity, and I think sometimes, that's some of the myth around the charter. space is like, are they accessible? Can I walk in? Can I ask questions? Yes, yes, yes. That's what we are. We're a community school. So yes, if you're a parent and you're interested in enrolling your child, and you have some questions maybe about transportation, you have some questions about food services, are we going to be offering uniforms? All of those things are yes. We're going to be offering free transportation to all of our students. We offer free uniforms. You get at least 4 uniforms in the beginning of the school year to start off with. From Essence Prep. And then the other, yes, of course, we make sure that our babies eat breakfast, lunch, and snack after school. But if you have questions about any of those things, the application process, you can always just reach out to me and receive a consultation. If it's not going to be me, you'll talk to our director of student recruitment directly. Her name is Miss D'Amica Burton, and I'm so excited to have her on our team as well. She's from the Eastside of San Antonio, has been working in the nonprofit space for quite some time, and has been just doing a phenomenal job these past few weeks, now months, that she's been on the team leading our recruitment efforts. So one of us will make time, visit you. We can come to you. You don't have to come to us. And some people have said to me on the east side, look, we got to look you in the eyeball. So I get that. You can look me face to face and ask me as many questions as you want. The idea around this is we want you to trust us. And the way to trust us is to partner with us. We want you to partner with us and be a part of this vision, be a part of this mission, and help craft it. And then also hold us accountable to all the things we said we wanted to remain true. And the way we do that is by partnering with each other. So we encourage parents, visit the site, visit the site, visit the site. We're looking for kindergarten to second grade right now. We also have an opportunity that I'm going to go ahead and just tease now, and we'll announce in the new year, but we will be offering in partnership with Pre-K for SA, Pre-K. And so while we won't be having Pre-K on our campus the very first year, we will grow into that. But the very first year, we will have an opportunity. If you have a child or children, one is an Essence Prep student and in first grade, and you want to drop that kid off to school, well, guess what? You can also drop that other kid off who may be a Pre-K kid or a Pre-K student, and able to attend either the Pre-K for SA East Center or the Pre-K for SA South Center. And we will provide transportation in partnership with Pre-K for SA to either of those centers. So you'll be able to drop off both kids at Essence Prep and pick up both kids at Essence Prep while they may be going to 2 different institutions. And so the idea is partnering. Again, we are partnering with anyone who wants to partner with us to make it easier, make it more accessible, and more importantly, make it more equitable for our families on the east side of San Antonio.
Wow, that's Pre-K for SA is a super high quality program. I have visited the South and North centers. They're both amazing. So that's a
Yes.
really great opportunity. And they provide transportation. Like they get it. Like, families are juggling all these obligations, but we all want the best for our kids. We're just trying to make it work in, our complicated lives. And so that's problem solving. Like you're helping, and that creates a more prepared set of future kindergartners, right? Because they've already had that grounding in the social emotional learning and the basics of literacy and things like that they get at Pre-K for SA.
That's right. That's right. And we're utilizing that to also convene a meeting to showcase, again, the need for partnership and to facilitate these things for our families and students with childcare centers across the east side of San Antonio, right? And so those childcare centers, some of them are already partnering with Pre-K for SA, but those who may not know about the partnership or the ability to do so, we're going to convene a meeting in the beginning of the year to bring as many childcare centers on the east side to the table, along with Pre-K for SA, to talk about this partnership and what we can do to make sure that we're impacting families in the positive.
Yeah. Well, that it really, what you said about being, partnerships, whether it's Essence Prep and Pre-K for SA or other early childhood programs, whether it's, Essence Prep partnering with parents, letting them look you in the eye so you can build that trust. Like, that resonates with me. I always, kick the tires a lot before I'm willing to put my kids in a setting. And the fact that you're accessible, I think, is really important. And so I'm gonna tease something out. We've been adding stuff to our website, so we're planning a school discovery day on the east side at Comanche Park. And Akeem, I know I've been texting you about that, so I hope that you
Yeah.
and your team
Yeah.
come out there, and that'll be another opportunity. So that's in early February, and we've got more details on our site. We're again, it's like this is like right before the holidays. We're trying to like iron out some things before everything kind of goes, shuts down for the holidays.
Of course.
But I'm really happy because, like, I want families on the East Side to know about the opportunities out there, and, there are amazing, school leaders like you who, have, are putting down roots in the community and really have a heart for, bringing positive change to the East Side, finding the strengths, finding the assets, and being really sincere and partnering with folks, not just coming in from the outside or, you know, um, you know, or tolerating like the way things have been done. It's like let's do things in a new way. Let's raise a crop of students who are going to be, problem solvers and leaders for the East Side.
Yep. Yep. That's what we're trying to do. I appreciate all of your support, truly.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put the website up on the screen one more time. Okay, so prospective teachers, this is where they can find the job listings.
Yep.
Families, if you have a student who's going to be in kindergarten, first or second grade in the coming school year, this is how you can apply. Yeah, the partnership with Pre-K First Day, that's amazing. And Akeem is incredibly busy, but also incredibly accessible. I can vouch for this. He's like I know you're really committed to what you're doing, and you're very organized. You're very deliberate about it, and you're also great about building a team so that it's not just you. It's like all of these strong leaders, working with you to get to the goal.
That's right. That's right. It's, we said in the very beginning, what you don't know, call it out and let's go find somebody who does know. Because again, there's a skill set, every skill set is required in what we call the revolution, right? We're trying to revolutionize education for our young people, specifically Black and Brown students. And to do so, we need every skill set at the table. So again, that's why I ask for support. That's why I ask for questions, concerns, even complaints, right? Like, we didn't like this, Akeem. Tell me. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen. I may not be able to always address, but I will listen and hear it out and make sure that we try not to make that same mistake.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listening, partnership, that's a strong foundation for building what I fully expect would be a really extraordinary school
Thank
on the
you.
East Side. So yay, here's for Essence Prep.
Thank you.
We'll connect in the new year and bring some more of your team members on and share more details about things like the transportation, the clothes, and more things about the school model, because the more I learn about it, the more excited I get.
Yep. Looking forward to it, Inga. And always thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's our pleasure. Okay. Thanks, Akeem. Take care.
Thank you. You as
Happy
well.
holidays.
See you soon.